Alright guys, welcome back to AWMFX. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, no matter where you are. So today I'm gonna answer a few questions. There is a viewer, I forgotten what's his name. He sent me a picture, something like this, yeah. So he asked me three questions. Uh, Out of these three, which one is the correct QML or something like that, or how to entry or whatever it is. So today I'm gonna make a video specially for him on regarding about these three QML, which I told him that all these three QML is wrong. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the first QML. All right, so let's get back to our chart. So what he meant was that is this the fresh zone for the re-entry? All right, when this is the QML, wait, first QML, something like this. All right, so this is the first question, the QML part. So I would say that what he did is actually wrong. Wrong. How do I know it is wrong? Okay, let's look into details. All right, so first of all, what he did is that he's looking at H4. So it's nothing wrong at looking at H4. All right, because any time frame is possible for QML, for supply and demand. But the problem here is that you must learn to master the multi-time frame analysis. So what do I mean by that? If you base on alone the time frame on H4, you have inadequate information. So what you should really do here is that, okay, if you look at it, usually if I have a QML, of course I'll look at H4 and then I'll go into small time frame and bigger time frame. So what I'll do is that I'll switch it to H1 at this and look at the same scenario. Alright, so let's look at it. So if you look at it properly, what you really have is that your QML, okay, his QML is supposed to be this location. Instead of this location, if you look at it properly. Alright, so the price is going, making higher low, and then higher, ultimate high is over here. So the QML is at this point. Right, so this is the first thing, the first mistake. So if you look at it properly, the price came back down. All right, came back down smoothly, and then suddenly, what did the price do? The price make a sudden spike before the drop. This drop broke this low. Hopefully you guys agree. All right, it breaks the structure over here, and then it is a qualified QML sell, right? Then what happened? The price goes down, all right, and then make a big movement before it comes back up to this area and then spike it down. So let me remove this box at this moment first. So if you look at it properly, what is the problem here is that if the price, like I say, before any price break the structure, the initial move, you look at it, okay, there is a sign, what we call it as a MPL, the maximum pin level, the area where the price reject from the top and the bottom. All right, so over here we get a horizontal line. Remember, QML is just a signal to tell you the price is reversing, that's all. All right, so what you do is that you take the horizontal line, you place it at the place where there is a lot of rejection from the top and the bottom, likely. All right, so this will be my MPL, right? Maximum pain level. Let's look at it. Maximum pain level. All right, so how do you know this is the maximum pain level? So if you look at it properly, there is a lot of rejection from the bottom, right? Rejection, and then rejection from the top, and then rejection from the bottom again, before the price went back up, spike, and then comes down. Hopefully you guys agree with me. Okay, so what happened is that we are looking for a sell. Then means that we are looking for a supply zone, because we always sell at the supply zone. And over here, there is two fresh supply zone. Okay, first is this fresh supply zone. This candle over here. All right. So this fresh supply zone. So the other fresh supply zone will be this one. All right. Sorry for that. It will be over here. So if you look at it properly, which supply zone really qualified for it is definitely this one, because it is the nearest to the MPL where the big players or the big bankers make the manipulation before the fall. Okay, this is the manipulation move, or should I say it's a stop loss or stop hunt move. So we'll take this away, and this will be our entry, our fresh supply zone. Then what happened next is that, of course, then we need to look at it properly. The price action. I told you guys many times before, we need to look at how the price comes back. Let me get this line off a moment and replace it with it's easier, right? It will be easier. Right. So what you're gonna look at it as is that if you notice it, the price make a movement, we call it as the fake out. Right. Why is a fake out? Fake out is a fake support or resistance structure. So over here we have a fake out, a very, very obvious fake out. All right. So we have a R1, R2, R3, or R4. A lot of fake out means that at this point, a conventional or old dated support and resistance trader will place their trade, hoping that the price will reverse from here. So this is their problem. Most of them, they will place their trade over here, right? Most of them, and stop loss maybe a few pips above, or how many pips above. So if you look at it properly, this movement over here, all right, this movement, this candle, sorry, the price, yeah. This movement, this candle over here is a manipulation to spike it up, all right, to spike it up, stop loss, stop hunt, and then only fall. So now we have QML, we have MPL, we have fresh zone, we have the fake out R1, R2, R3. Then this is a very, very beautiful movement. You can see QML. Alright, so the first question, hopefully I did answer. Alright, this is how you trade the QML. Alright, so let's look at the second area. So the second area will be over here. Okay, it's saying that the QML fresh zone, something like that. Alright, so let's look back at our chart. Alright. So the second one is over here. Now, this is a very, very big problem. Alright, if you look at it properly, this QML is a big problem. For me, I will not trade this QML. One of the reasons is that the shoulder is too far from the head. Can you see? Higher low, and then very far away, and then only it drops. Yeah, this is a qualified QML, but the problem is that this QML is too far away, the shoulder. So means that the risk, alright, the risk is very high. Alright, not only that, if you look at it properly, we put a horizontal line. It collides with another resistance over here, right? The head of it. So means that this is a very, very high chances diamond setup. Diamond setup is a failed QML. So with so many reasons, with so many should I say checklists that we have, we know that this is likely fail and won't be doing us any good. Instead of that, we can look for a trend continuous trade. Reason is that because there is a very nice king setup over here. We have a very nice king setup. Alright, we have the resistance. Alright, this is what we call it as a SSR. Significant support and resistance. SSR, rejection all the way. And then at the break, there is a king. That is a king. Instead of doing a reversal over here, we can make a buy. This is a very beautiful setup for a king. Alright, so hopefully I answer the second QML question. Why it fails. Okay, shoulder too far apart and the head collects with another resistance, so make it a very risky trade and very likely to be a diamond. Means that the trend will continue going up. Alright, so the third question, the third QML. So QML over here, alright, so let's look at it. So the third question is that he asks his label. Let me do the labeling. Right. By the way, I just finished celebrating Chinese New Year. So back to work, back to doing some more videos for you guys. So today I'm gonna produce a few videos. We'll be uploading it slowly because I need to do some editing. Alright, over here, if you look at it properly, what is a QML? Alright, let me do it for a reversal. So QML is something like this structure over here. Let me, okay, the structure is making a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Right, does not matter. Then what happened is that the price goes spike or rally beyond this high over here and then qualified for a QML buy, and then we aim to buy at this point. All right, the movement to the upside. Right, so if you look at this structure, this is a QML, right? Now let's look back at the question that he asked me. Does this qualify as a QML, or does this looks like any QML at all? Like this one, there is a price movement going higher high, higher low. Look from high to low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Is there any movement similar to this kind of structure? Do you get it? No, right? Does not look like this at all. Doesn't look like this at all. Instead of labeling here, alright, instead of labeling here, this looks more like a QML instead. Okay, I'll get this. This looks more like a QML than the one he labeled. Right, the price is moving down, correct? This is the head, and then there's a structure, and then the price move down and then spike it up. Can you see the difference between labeling here and labeling here your QML? So, but the problem is that this movement is not really that convincing, all right? And then it does not break the upper structure, right? It does not break this upper structure before it comes down, unless let me switch to H1 and see is there any possible entry. All right, you might get one over here, your QML over here, low, and then this manipulation. Can you see this manipulation? All right, this manipulation, but we don't have any fresh entry. We don't get any entry. It breaks this structure. This movement over here, it broke the structure. Right, it broke this structure for a QML buy. But the problem is that there is no clear direction or no clear entry, and it depends on you. For me, I don't force an entry. Means that of course I can go into lower time frame and then get the entry perfectly and tell you that this thing really works or whatever it is. But for me, really I don't do a forced entry. Means that I know that this zone, this demand zone, is already consumed or tested in a higher time frame. So I don't force myself to go into a lower time frame to get another zone. Of course, if I do, let's assume, there should be another zone there, area. There should be, see, there should be another fresh zone, right? But I don't do that. We have a fake out, nicely done fake out, S1, S2, right? Maybe you can label this as S3 too. Then comes down and then goes back up. All right, so hopefully let's get back to this question over here. So hopefully you guys understand the structure. Don't simply label it, because once you label it wrongly, you will not only get yourself confused, you will definitely will get yourself into trouble getting the bad trade or wrong trade. So my advice to you, for new traders, do more drawings. Okay, always look back at the previous movement, and wherever there is a drop, then see there is any reason why the price dropped from that area. All right, or that is what we call it, the back testing, instead of doing forward testing at this moment. And then the other thing is that always stick to just 3 to 4 currency pairs at this moment, please. The more you look at it, you're gonna get yourself confused. Okay, and then do it slowly. Do the sell setup first. Do all the practice on the sell setup, and then do the practice on the buy setup. And then after that, maybe you want to do some trend continuous trade. You might do the RBS or the SPR. All right. So hopefully I answered the 3 questions of the QML that have been asked. I really don't mind you guys sending me pictures, asking me is it possible or anything like that. But just that if I have time, might do a video explaining these things to you guys, right? Because for me, I really don't really like to write it down or explain it by words. I felt that by doing a video, yeah, it might consume your time, it might consume my time, but you will definitely get a more clearer picture of the overall things I'm gonna tell you, right? So that's all for today. Hopefully you guys learn a few tips or tricks about trading supply demand zone advanced rate, the QML. And if you guys like the video that I do for you, please give me a like and subscribe. So see you guys then. Bye.